After months of protests that shook a nation and that were led by junior doctors of West Bengal, joined by doctors all across India, a verdict has finally been delivered in the case that came to be known as the RG Kaur rape and murder case. I'm Barkha Dutt, you're with the Mojo story. A young woman who was raped and killed at a place of work, the RG Kaur Medical College, shook the conscience of India. Now, months later, in a probe that was overseen in moments by the Supreme Court itself, a special court in Kolkata has delivered a verdict, and no surprise in that finding, Sanjay Roy, the key accused, has been found guilty. Announcing the verdict in open court, the judge said the quantum of punishment would be declared on Monday. But he gave an indication of what was to come, saying that it would be 25 years or the death sentence. Sanjay Roy had an outburst in court. He alleged that he'd been framed. He referenced an unnamed IPS officer as being behind the entire conspiracy. The parents of the victim, who've been fighting alongside the junior doctors, broke down in court. Earlier, before the verdict, the father expressed disquiet with the way the investigation was being conducted. Doctors continue to maintain that they do not believe the entire truth has been revealed. The judge today, while declaring the guilty verdict, also said that his judgment has criticized certain activities and decisions of the hospital as well as the police. The Trinamool Congress was quick to claim vindication, although we do not yet know what the judge has said on the behavior of both the principal or the now sacked principal, Sandip Ghosh of the Arjikar College, as well as the Kolkata police. But Trinamool Congress leaders took to social media saying, "We told you so." The Kolkata police got it right on the very first day. This, despite the fact that a recent forensic report raised fresh questions about whether the seminar hall at the Arjikor Medical College was even the scene of crime at all, because the forensic report found no sign of resistance at the seminar hall where the young doctor's body was recovered. Is this is this the final word on the RG Kaur rape and murder investigation? Has justice been delivered? Let me introduce our guests on the program today. The two men you see on your screen, one a young doctor, one a veteran, have been at the front line of the protest. Dr. Tapas Pramanik is with us. Welcome, Dr. Tapas. And also, of course, well-known cardiac surgeon, Dr. Kunal Sarkar is with us as well. Thank you very much, both of you, for joining us. Dr. Sarkar, we are awaiting the 160-page order, and all of us will have to go through it before we have some sense of where the judge's mind is. But the Trinamool Congress is claiming vindication. They said, "We said from the first day nobody else was involved." Sanjay Roy has been found guilty. Your first thoughts, Dr. Sarkar?
Well, it's not surprising, Barkha, at all, because this whole affair that you have discussed in great detail before has really divided the public, the political camps around. There is a very sharp division right now. It almost reminds us of the John F. Kennedy episode that happened in 1963, when the government went on insisting that there was a single assailant who shot a bullet at Kennedy, and the rest of the theories said that there were at least two, if not three, and there was a sharp polarization between the middle. Now, exactly, what should have been a question that interrogated the details of the case, the details of the evidence gathering, the meticulousness or the lack of meticulousness with which the investigation appeared, in no time, it really deteriorated into sharp political polarization. And as you exactly said, that the single assailant in the rape case became a government version, and the involvement of multiple people along with Sanjay Rai became a opposition version. So whether we almost subconsciously submit to this political polarization today is a question. Now, this verdict today, you see, an irony of all this, as you described very well, was that, as I believe, obviously none of us were there, as I believe Rai was yelling or shouting that I am, I've been framed, etc. after he pronounced the judgment, apparently the judge told Sanjay Roy that I'm going to hear you on Monday. Now, that
Hmm.
really is a little bit ironical that how can you hear a person once you have claimed the judgment? So I think
Yeah.
at the very least, Barkha, probably this is a partial closure on the matter. From the very first day, some kind of involvement of Sanjay Rai was not outside the question at all. Now, as per to the other group of opinion, the other lobby, who still seem to believe that there were others involved, the real confusion to sort is how do you voice your questions? Public forum is not going to do anything. If the CBI does not produce a supplementary charge sheet, who files another case in the High Court? Is it the parents? Is it the group of doctors? Is it other people who still believe that this case has still many, many more unanswered questions? I think this is real puzzle or a conundrum right now. But yes, in some ways, some kind of a verdict has come today, which perhaps to a part of the to one lobby it means a closure, to the other group of opinion it means a partial closure. Now, where
Right.
from what is the
Yeah.
future direction remains very puzzling.
So it's an interesting analogy that you draw with the JFK assassination, where there continued to be a debate over, who killed JFK, how many were involved, how many people were involved, and what was the full extent of the conspiracy. I also want to welcome to the program two other guests. Loknath Chatterjee is joining us. He's a lawyer and a BJP leader. Welcome, Loknath ji. And also joining us is Tausif Ahmed Khan. He's a lawyer and a TMC supporter. Namaskar and welcome to both of you. Let me, in fact, get a quick response from Dr. Tapas as a young doctor who was at the front line of these protests. Tapas, what is your first thought?
Actually, I'm not happy because in this case, not only Sanjay Rai involved, not only the Sanjay Rai. Hello, hello.
Yeah, yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead, go ahead. We can hear you.
Okay. Actually, multiple criminals are involved in this case. But what the Calcutta police did, CBI did the same thing. This is the main problem. There are some reports in my hand. This was submitted by the CBI in the court. First of all, the CCTV footage report. The CCTV footage was recorded from 2:35 a.m. to 5:51 a.m. 68 movements recorded in the CCTV. But no one has identified apart from the Sanjay Rai. Sanjay Rai identified by only two times. But no one is identified by the CBI. In the ward, there are doctors, sister, paramedics. Here is security, but CBI did not identify anyone. And some people are suspicious in this CCTV report that they have no upper garments. Who are they? CBI did not try to identify them. As per the DNA analysis report, there are three different signal in the three swabs. Number one, vulvar swab, vulvar swab, nipple swab, and the anal swab. And in case of anal swab, there is a extra signal apart from suspect and the accused and accused
But
means
hasn't all,
Sanjay
Dr.
Rai.
Tapas, Dr. Tapas, this material, has it not been placed before court? Has all this
It
material
was
not been?
placed in the it was placed in the court. It was placed
So
in the
then,
court.
so
Then
then,
trial has been completed. As per the DNA analysis report, signals are different apart from accused and the victim. In the anal swab, apart from victim and accused, there is a one signal that may be this is the signal of a female person, female DNA. Who is she?
so
CBI CBI did not try to identify them. This is the main issue.
let me
First of
open this
all,
up. Look. One minute, Tapas. So you say that the CBI, you're not happy with the CBI investigation. I want to bring in Loknath Chatterjee at this point. The BJP was very critical of the way the Kolkata police conducted the investigation. Now, doctors don't seem to be that much happier with the way the CBI has conducted the investigation. How would you respond?
No, see, I'll tell you, there are several parts to it. So, right to start off with, initially, what has CBI has done is that it started off the conclusion of the trial has happened within a period of 57 days. So they had submitted a charge sheet, things were moving. So we also need to keep in mind, after the August 13 verdict of the High Court, whereby CBI investigation was handed over, uh, you know, when CBI came in, it was a lot of evidence, which was again, what God knows what happened to it. CBI came in much later into the matter. So therefore, the initial parts of it, what was there, what happened, it's, the jury is still out. Again, the matter's not stopped here. Of course, definitely one person's been convicted. His verdict, his sentence will be pronounced on Monday. But the matter does not stop here. Of course, the mother of the victim girl has said that we welcome. Of course, he was the prime accused. They managed to nab him and they've managed to convict him. So, of course, she wants the others also to be, brought under the process of law. So, therefore, it would be wrong to draw conclusions right away. It would be wrong to really say who's right, who's wrong, because, it's matter is sub judice. Of course, we can really weigh the evidence. Of course, we would really want justice to be served. It's a matter of seminal importance. But at the same point of time, we would also need to keep in mind that it's not closed here. It's not shut here. So it's definitely, it's reached a very critical, important point juncture here. But definitely the matter will go on and will go ahead.
So Loknath, Mr. Loknath Chatterjee, you're saying the last word has not yet been spoken. This is not the final word on the RG court case.
Correct.
What would you say to the fact that the TMC is claiming vindication?
See, I'll tell you, let's not really get politics into this. It would be really unwise to bring this matter up, give it a political nature of this sort. It's a matter of, a girl who's been a doctor, what has happened, the entire world scene. So let's not really get, who's right, who's wrong. Kolkata police, we know what happened. We know the way the Kolkata police and its officers were castigated by the High Court here, by the Supreme Court. So therefore, we know what was their role. So definitely, it's not really a matter of vindication. The Kolkata police started off the trial, definitely, but then, of course, CBI has continued with it, but it's not stopped here. So therefore, it would be wrong to, really call it a vindication.
Tausif Ahmed Khan, of course, you are, a lawyer, but also a TMC supporter. The TMC leaders were quick to take to social media saying, "We told you so." The Kolkata police got it right from the very first day. If the Kolkata police got it right from the very first day, why was the police commissioner transferred? Secondly, the detailed judgment is not yet out. We do not know yet what view the court has taken of either how the principal at the time, Sandip Ghosh, handled the case. And there's been a lot of criticism of his handling and the fact that the TMC tried to protect his job by simply transferring him to another college, as well as the conduct of the police, as well as the rampaging mob that was allowed inside the RG College. And given free rein. How do you see what the court has decided today, Tausif?
Barkha, unfortunately, in this case, matter of this gravity was, politicized. We cannot forget, during the initial days when Kolkata police was conducting the investigation, within 48 hours, the current accused who has been, held guilty by the court today, he was arrested within 48 hours by the Kolkata police. And in a criminal case, we have to remember, in a criminal case where a police wants to prosecute an accused, he has to produce evidence which are beyond reasonable doubt. That's the yardstick under the law of evidence. If had it been a civil case, it is decided on a preponderance of probability. But in criminal case, the prosecutor has to prove the case beyond reasonable doubt. Today, when this Mr. Sanjay is held guilty by the court after a prolonged investigation by CBI, they're relying on the same evidence that was collected by Kolkata police and handed over to CBI, then obviously the Kolkata police stands vindicated. Kolkata police is right to say that, look, we told you. There was a lot of criticism against Kolkata police. There were a lot of demands that Mamata Banerjee should resign, the government should be changed, that some other political party should form the government in Bengal. There were lots of hues and cries and protests in the public, which were instigated by the political workers, the political workers in Bengal. However, as I said in the beginning, it was very unfortunate that this matter was politicized. Mamata Banerjee has a zero tolerance policy towards crime, and a crime of this sort, a sort
Let me
which horrifies the entire state, entire country. Yesterday only, West Bengal police conducted a case of conducted an investigation of a case of a rape and murder case. Yesterday, the court in Bengal, depending on the West Bengal police evidence produced by the West Bengal police, has given a death
let me
penalty.
let
Similarly, in another rape and
yes.
murder case in December, another accused was handed over death penalty. And you see, the CBI, it took 3 months to start the trial on the same evidence that Kolkata police had given, and now we're still waiting for the
Let me
sentence
get
to be pronounced,
let me
and I
get look
expect that it will be
let
a
me
death penalty.
Yes, it is quite likely the judge did allude to that in the court today when he said 25 years of death penalty. So I think that point is correct, Tausif. But let me bring in Loknath Chatterjee at this point to respond to your argument that the police has been vindicated, and then we'll take final comments from
Absolutely
both the
not.
doctors.
Absolutely not.
Why?
You know what? Why was Abhijit Mondal, the officer in charge of Tala police station, arrested? Why was, in fact, Sandip Ghosh, former principal of RGKR, arrested? We know what was the role of police. We know the way the police was castigated in open court by the High Court at Calcutta, here by the Supreme Court. So there are two parts to it. One is the role and conduct of the police in the aftermath of the issue, and the second is the aspect of investigation. So when we are talking of the aspect of investigation, definitely, we will, the matter is not reached a closure. So of course, we'll have to wait it out for that. But of course, when the matter comes to the aspect of, the aftermath of the incident, we see the role and the conduct of the police and the ghastly manner in which the police had failed to control law and order, and in fact had supported those people who conducted vandalism there. So therefore, it's defending the police is like defending the indefensible here. So there I will join issue with Mr. Tausif, saying that absolutely the police is in an indefensible position here, and they cannot be defended. And of
Okay,
course,
let me bring in
when we
Dr.
talk of
Sarkar.
the conduct of the
Yeah.
state government here, vis-a-vis investigation, there have been several incidents of this kind where the courts repeatedly have said, we don't have faith in the local police, we will hand it over to the central investigating agencies.
Right. But the point is that now it has been, Dr. Sarkar, with the central investigative agencies. The CBI had all opportunity to build a different case if it so believed that there was one to be built. Do go ahead.
Barkha, I think, first of all, I think we should worry and introspect as a civic society, irrespective of where our political inclinations are. We should worry the nature in which the crime scene was kind of protected or left unprotected. We should worry about the haste with which the cremation and postmortem happens, irrespective of what our political inclinations are. The Calcutta police has received a fair amount of criticism, but I think we will be very partial if we do not point out to the inconsistencies of CBI's behavior and investigation. The CBI, when they are submitting the status report to the Supreme Court, it has Supreme Court in a state of frenzy. The judges go on commenting that we have never seen, witnessed something like this in our lives. And yet, when the same detailed reports or investigations are submitted to the courts, they look pretty placid and they look pretty innocuous. So, what was
Right.
getting the Supreme Court agitated is one question. Secondly, as the investigation is going on, it does not befit the highest investigating authority of a country to have periodic leakages. You see all these reports that Tapas is referring to, the leaked
Yeah.
DNA report, the leaked multiple investigation committee report, the leaked reports that was that place the sense of the crime. honestly, we are scraping the bottom of the barrel if a country of 1.4 billion people cannot depend upon, they are not magicians. But a country of 1.4 billion people needs a consistent investigating agency in our country between the Supreme Court and the court. If they are towing to a line of investigation and conclusion, they are privy to do so. But what
So
is
are you saying, Dr. Sarkar, are you saying you are disappointed by both the Kolkata police and the CBI?
Well, yes, Kolkata police, there what they did or did not do, was whether it was intention, whether it was accidental, whether it was conspiracy, whether it was lack of their caliber of the people on ground to do it, that's a different question. They have taken their share of criticism. But the inconsistency of the highest investigating people, they can come to any conclusion as they seem fit and logical, but they cannot submit themselves to such to such sort of what is happening. These leakages ought to happen from the inside of the CBI investigation. I tell you
Right.
one thing, if this verdict, whatever be the punishment announced on Monday, I am no lawyer, but if this punishment goes through another set of interrogation in the High Court or wherever, if the DNA investigation and other stuff is really as botched up as it looks, it is a combination of the fact that it wasn't collected properly, and it is also a fact that it was not presented properly by the CBI. Is this kind of threadbare, slipshod, inconsistent evidence keeping, will it really stand up scrutiny of higher courts? I doubt it.
Dr. Tapas, before I take final comments from our politicians, you said you're not happy with the verdict, and you said there are enough forensic unexplored contradictions that have not been looked at closely enough. What are you sticking to your original belief that there were more people involved? That is, in a way, what you're
Yeah,
suggesting.
yeah. Actually, both CBI and Kolkata police disappointed us. There are so many inconsistencies in this case, but CBI did not do anything. If sentenced to a death penalty, then who did it, where did it? But here is the crime scene is different. Here crime scene is different, but crime scene is very important for the execution. This is the main problem. And the main investigating officer, Shima Pauja, IPS Shima Pauja, was not present during the important day in the Sealdah court. This is the ridiculous investigation done by the CBI in last 4 to 5 months. Multiple criminals involved in this case, but CBI is speaking just only one point, that is the Sanjay Roy. This is not the right thing.
Let me bring in Tausif at this point and then give the last word to Loknath Chatterjee. From a doctor's perspective, those who've been protesting, they say they feel let down by both the police and the CBI. And a recent forensic report you would have seen that had suggested that the crime scene may not have been the seminar hall at all. Doctors seem convinced that we don't know enough. There are many gaps in information. What would you say?
No, but if doctors have any information, there was ample opportunity. More than 2 dozen witnesses were examined in this case. Various, dozens of forensic reports were looked into, and relying on so many evidences under the supervision of Supreme Court, the trial court has reached to this conclusion. Now, there are two aspects to this. One is the rape and murder case where the verdict is pronounced, and the other is the financial irregularity where the principal, the ex-principal of the Arjikar College is targeted. Yes, those investigations are going on. They are on bail, but there's no progress more than that in that case. But here, at least so far, the Sanjay Roy is concerned, there's absolutely no doubt. It has been proven beyond reasonable doubt after investigation by both Kolkata police and CBI and the trial court that he's the guilty. Therefore, so long he is concerned, when he is one of the accused, I think his chapter is closed. Yes,
Yeah,
if there are
I
any,
think I think the questions
the
are not about
investigation
Sanjay
is not.
Roy, but whether Sanjay Roy was the only person involved in this conspiracy? That is the question, right? That is the question on which there has been a debate, not over whether Sanjay Roy is guilty or innocent.
Right, and there has to be materials. There has to be credible materials, not just anyone's conspiracy theory or not just anyone's whims or fancy. Unless those materials are found, like they blame Kolkata police. But even after Kolkata police, CBI had been investigating, and CBI had called the Kolkata police officers as a part of the investigation. They were interrogated as well. So where are the materials? Whether more than one person was involved or not, I also want to know, and I want them behind bars. I want them to a punishment of death. But where are the materials? Is this political? That is the question. In the absence of any materials, only political statements are not going to help. That's doing injustice to Abhaya.
Yeah, before I give Loknath the last word, one of our viewers, Saraswati, reminds us, and it's important to remember these details. The parents of the victim were lied to. The victim's body was cremated in haste. The woman is dead. The damage has already been done. And there are questions about the conduct of the principal. The judge himself today said that he has criticism of the hospital and the police. But Loknath Chatterjee, the BJP, the centre too will come under some pressure, because the Kolkata police can now say, look, you took away the investigation from us, and you being the CBI has come to the same conclusion as us. Your last thoughts?
This only reinforces the fact that CBI operates independently. CBI does not operate under political pressure, and CBI does not dance to the whims of any political agenda. This would reinforce it further, because if there was really something political to it, then definitely CBI would have had come to a different conclusion, what people were waiting for, what people were accusing it. So therefore, this only reinforces the alternative or the negative. So it does not prove that there is any political nexus between CBI and any political party or government authorities, if on at the first look. And what importantly, definitely everyone would want all people who were involved in this crime, they are steps are taken against them. But then at the same point of time, we'll have to keep in mind that CBI was operating under the aegis and control of the High Court here, and also the Supreme Court of India. So therefore, CBI has to sift evidence and arrive at a finding which is also legally tenable. But that does not take away anything from the fact that, of course, there have been accusations of evidence tampering, there have been accusations of cover-up, but definitely, again, jury is still out, investigation is still on and still open. So therefore, for the CBI also to shield anyone or to wrongly accuse anyone would be much more difficult, even looking at it from a very objective point of view, considering that it was under the control of the courts all this while.
Okay, we leave it there for now. Monday will be a critical day for us to understand better. We will also by then have access to this 160-page verdict and know more clearly how the judge has made sense of all the evidence placed before him. Thank you so much to Tausif Ahmed Khan, Loknath Chatterjee, and earlier to Dr. Sarkar and Tapas Pramanik. And to our audience, thank you. Have a great weekend. See you soon.
It's great to see you here. Thank you for watching our work. If you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to click the bell icon and subscribe to Mojo Story and support independent, robust journalism.